Hi everyone, I'm Victor Ghoshe. I'm the author of Tomb of God and the Job Charnock Riddle. First of all, I thank Attagalata, the AG Ask the Author campaign for helping me to connect with the readers. And I thank all of you who has penned down their questions and sent across. Fantastic questions. We had a tough time to select the top three, and I'm going to answer those three questions here, and after that I will announce the best question, and the sender would win a copy of my latest thriller, Tomb of God. So the first question that I'm going to discuss today, read the question and then answer, that's from Devashri Bose. The handle name goes as DB2112. The question is, a thriller fan here. While thrillers are awesome, they can have multiple endings. Did you start with something in mind and it shaped differently? How did you decide the ending? How much history research is involved, and how long did you take to come up with the codes and everything to fit the book? Fantastic question, Devashri. Yes, I do have a kind of a sketch about the quest that I'm going to write in mind when I start writing a book. But then what I do, I let my characters go ahead, do their things, take their decisions, and make their own adventure. And by doing that, I have often seen that they come up with, along with the main quest, they often come up with other ideas and find out other relics. And that's fantastic because mostly those things I generally have never thought of, including in the book. So that's how it takes shape. But yes, preliminary at the starting, I have a sketchy idea about what is the quest all about, and then it takes its own shape. Talking about the research, of course, research is very important for my kind of book because I want my readers to know a lot many things that are not generally discussed about, that are not generally available on Wikipedia. So for both the books, I've seen that I've taken from 3 to 3.5 years for research, and after that I have started writing. So it's a rigorous research, and I have seen that my stories take different shape when I am doing the research, when I am compiling the facts and figures, and I am trying to develop a kind of a plot. Every time I've seen that the plot changes. The last part of your question, Devashri, the codes, development of the codes and other things that fit into the main story. What I've seen that this part generally takes shape through the research. Believe me, I have gone to the museums, spent time on a regular basis, starting from the Asiatic Society Library in Kolkata, the National Library in Kolkata, to the British Museum, the British Library in London, and I've spent a lot of time doing research. And during these things, I have often seen that I stumble upon something, I take a note of it, and then later I find that this might be a great milestone in my story, and that's how my story develops. That's how my characters find new things, and they set out for newer things, newer relics in the story which I have never thought of. So that's how it is. And that's how it goes. The second question is sent by Mr. Ram Mishra. The question is, I want to ask you that such stories that bridge between realities and fiction need vivid description. How have you done the research to make this genre applicable? So yes, I really have tried hard mm, uh, to make this genre popular. I have talked about my research in the previous question. Let me talk about the process that I often use to do my research. My kind of research starts with making a list. The list of all the available materials, books in hard copies, soft copies, online libraries, university archives. I do that listing. And then I try reading as much as possible from that list. So, I'm a member of at least 25 university libraries and their archives. Most of their documents are being shared with me. So, I really go through this process of research to make my book interesting. And believe me, I have often seen that during this period, the milestones of the story is been developed. And as I go further going through my notes for the second, for the third time, I've seen these milestones take shapes of pillars. And these pillars further, they make way for the bridge that will connect the fiction with the reality. And believe me, one thing I should say very honestly, that this is surely not the bridge that I initially wanted to build when I started writing the novel. This is far different than that. This is much bigger. This is, of course, much more convincing. So that's how I would say I take steps one after another, little steps, to make the bridge and to connect fiction and reality. The third question is from Riona Das, and the question is, how do you manage to write for two totally different genres like historical adventures and paranormal? Do you write them parallelly? Is there any process that you follow? So historical fiction, they they come naturally to me actually. At the same time, for me it is very important to have more than one artistic and intellectual windows to be able to breathe. So these are the windows which refresh me. These are the windows which rejuvenate me while I am writing a 500-page book. And as a seeker, I love to know the unknown. I want to explore the world of paranormal. So the second topic I always fall back on is paranormal. So when I'm writing a 500-page book, I take regular breaks to read, research, and write short paranormal stories. Um, to answer to answer the last part of your question, of course, there is no process involved in it. I simply use it as a window to just go out from my regular, long 500-page novel, uh, read something else, and indulge myself to get involved in writing those short stories, which are mostly um, paranormal stories, right? So that brings us at the end of three questions and answers. So now it's the time for me to announce the best question, or the question I like the most, and that goes to Devasri Bose. Her question is the one that I like the most because it's a layered question, and I really enjoyed answering that question. So congratulations, Devasri. You win a copy of my latest thriller, Tomb of God. And I thank everyone involved. I thank all of you who has sent questions. I thank Subodh, I thank Atta Galata for organizing this fantastic campaign. And stay well and read books. Thank you.